Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, Love and Light. Today, I think it's very important that everybody remember the power that they possess and the power that you have within you when you hold positive self-confidence in what it is that you think, you do, you feel, how you resonate, the way that you move, the ideas that maybe you are forming into tangible positions within your current reality, or maybe even to fall into your future timeline. Almost seamless, right? As if it was waiting for you to, you know, meet up, so to speak. But what I do know is that when you hold self-pride without holding ignorance of ego, of an outdated version of you, right? That's very important, not to slide backwards into a semi-comfortable yet unseemingly toxic piece of you that, you were able to evolve away from into the higher version or the aware version of you, where you may not have all the answers, but you certainly do know that the way things used to be just, cannot continue to play, in today's history, like modern times and stuff, because it just doesn't fit anymore, and unfortunately, some mindsets that refuse to pivot or change or adapt, tend to get lost somewhere within a place and time that has that really doesn't live in today's world anymore. Because when you look around, you're faced with the different changes that are happening within you, your environment, the world, your neighborhood, your family. I mean, the cycle group that you're involved with could be, experiencing, cause and effect of, motion put into, life. But when you're standing in a very poiseful, strong position within your own self, where you have self-compassion and you have self-love and you have self-forgiveness and you have the desire for forward positive movement, because you are on your way, thanks to awareness, up your level or your ladder, if you will, of the different stages ascension provides to us. And when we're walking into the unknown, especially if we're leaving an old version of us behind, it is extremely important not to tamp down or to let sit on the sideline our courageous confidence, because that's what's going to help propel us and allow us to be able to fully embrace the vibration that we're walking into, because we've left everything that didn't serve us, that wasn't suiting us, in the rear view mirror. And all we kept was the value of the lessons that were learned. This way, when we see them in the future, our strength and confidence of overachieving once before will be a seamless effort if when it presents itself again, right? Because it's always gonna. I mean, when you were in real school, not that this isn't real school, but when you were in structured school, right? K through 12, when you learned something and you achieved it, right? Although it may be touched upon again in the next year, it was really something that was just left for you to enhance, along your journey. And sometimes people, learn things and forget them, meaning that they don't implement them in their life. So if that happens again, although you have the recollection that, you've been there before, you never regain the value of the tools in order to propel you into where you need to be. But that doesn't mean that you can't go and get them by digging down into the layers of you to figure out what it was that maybe you didn't see before, that is maybe keeping you from courageous, committed courage, forward motion, right? Having confidence to continue to go forward. So if you find yourself in a position where maybe you think you missed something, or that you need to go back and re-look, it's not go back and re-look, it's dig down deep inside of you to see what it is that makes you feel one certain way. And you don't actually have to entertain that entire lesson again. You just need to look through your internal files until you can find the piece of information that you're looking for. And sometimes the obvious just skips our sight. But that's where I come into play, because I can see what most people can't. And because I've probably walked a piece of your journey or experienced a taste of life that you could be going through right now, and if that's the case, then I'm sorry, because every piece of life that I've tasted, it really never left a great taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I was always disappointed because maybe my expectations of other people were higher than, they had the confidence to embrace. But that's because, and I know this, I have so much confidence that maybe it's an Achilles heel. Maybe it's enough that, it doesn't overshadow or over drown, right? The message that I'm trying to come across. Like, my confidence isn't in your face, puff my chest out, I'm better. That nothing like that at all. If anything, the confidence that I carry is that my steps are being led, and I realize this, and I am confidently, boldly following them, and I am working with universal yin and yang, if you will, like the ebb and flow of life. And I'm not fighting one specific place. I'm confident enough to know that I can overcome any obstacle and turn it into a challenge that may come my way. And with humility and thankfulness for experiencing, the situation, because I always have gratitude. Even when it's a really bad taste in my mouth, I still have gratitude. Because if I didn't go through those steps, if I wasn't put in that direction, whether it was my old ego, my unclear directional path, thinking that, like, things would change, for the positive by putting great vibes out there. Like, I realize I can only go so far. And I'm not going to say that I can do the whole thing, because my gifts will lead you to the understanding and the realization that your internal self-confidence has always been there. You just didn't see it in the light in which it was meant to be viewed. I can help you see yourself in a better light. I can certainly show you through my own example how things, worked and how things didn't work, and what to expect and, how you can handle that. And even though all your answers come from within your structure, right? By utilizing your balance and your harmony and your clarity, your wisdom and your knowledge, and listening to your intuition and following the feeling and the resonanzation that always comes with, a positive, uplifting feeling. Like, what's good. There's no denying, right? A feel good situation, just like there's no denying the opposite. And you have the courage, the confidence, and the internal knowing when you access the core knowledge that comes along with understanding all the parts of you, which helps you stand in more self-confidence in where you are, what you're doing, and who you want to become. Like, where is your path leading you? What is your inner desire? What tickles your fancy? What puts fire in your movement? And I don't mean burning you. I mean, like the drive, the flicker, the ambition to continue to go forward, right? We all have drive, we all have ambition, we all have something that tickles our fancy. Some of us tamped it down because it doesn't follow the matrix box. As an adult, is supposed to be thought of. But you know what? More titles, more unnecessary labels. That's what I think. Labels. Just like it doesn't matter to me, how you want to frame something or phrase something. It matters, what is your intent? Where is your heart? How do you feel about the decisions that you're making? Do you have strong confidence? Do you let seeds of doubt infiltrate because the unknown is something that you haven't seen yet? If you do, it's not bad. It's, it just is what it is because you're just not ready. But awareness will lead you to more layers of recognition. And when I say recognition, I mean what your soul remembers. And what your soul remembers, what you come in contact with, is how your soul is going to respond. And 9 out of 10 times, if you're on a forward motion path and you're allowing your awareness to continue to enlighten you to things that maybe you thought were, out of your reach, realizing that your potential is endless and your abilities are, capable of reaching, surpassing, and, thriving in a world, in a realm, in a field of pure love, pure bliss, pure enlightenment. Those are, they come when you hold your inner confidence and you courageously, boldly, change your mindset and walk to continue to let your destiny, your existence unfold the way the contract that you designed eons ago knew you could handle. I mean, it may sound a little silly, but if you really think about it, there's really not so much silly about it. We are energetic light essences experiencing a 3D earthly life, offering lessons and value so that we could achieve in physical 3D form the ability to perfect not only us as the light essence, but also through interconnectivity, uplift everyone else in the process. Something that you also can't see straight away. But when you believe you're making a difference and that you're a piece of, a puzzle, the grand scheme, then it all does make sense. It really does. And when you realize that what is above is mirrored below, meaning what our higher consciousness, our light essence forms, right? What it is that they are, we are mirroring on Earth in 3D form. And our goal is to raise our understanding and evolve into the highest version that we could be on 3D Earth. And with that, we're using our self-confidence in order to give us the strength to be courageous and bold. I can't wait to hear your stories. I really can't. And thank you so much for being here today, for listening to the message, for gaining the value, for understanding that your self-confidence will uplift you when you use it positively and you vibe as high as you can by holding love and light, always moving forward. My lovely collective, wherever you are today, I am so very blessed to be here with you today. And thank you for hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel and helping the algorithm spread the video as far as it could go, because I do have self-confidence, and I believe that when I hold my confidence high and I put it toward you, that you will certainly follow through. You won't let me down, but more importantly, you won't let you down, or your higher consciousness, or your spirit team, because you know on one part of your awareness that you are needed, you are worthy, and you have gifts, talents that we all need to benefit from the knowledge of. Love and light, my lovely family, my light essence soul tribe members, through the interconnectivity of the entirety, the whole, the everything. I love you. Blessed be.